Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park. Sporting Kansas City 2 getting ready to face Charlotte Independence. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups. Starting with the visitors, head coach Mike Jeffries and his first 11 of the year, and Doug McClagan. It was a pretty big overhaul in the offseason for the Charlotte Independence. Some new faces in this starting 11, but Enzo Martinez, perhaps the man to watch, leading the line there with Dane Kelly.
Yeah, Martinez and Kelly up top are going to be a handful today for sure.
Meanwhile, for the home side, head coach Paolo Nagamura naming his first starting 11 for Sporting Kansas City 2, the newly minted Sporting Kansas City 2. And there are 6 SKC players on loan in the starting lineup for Paolo Nagamura here today. There is the head man for Sporting Kansas City 2. Trying to get off on the right foot here this season. So will Mike Jeffries for the Charlotte Independence. Both of these teams missing out on the playoffs last season, but a chance to start fresh in 2020. The 10th season of the USL Championship underway this weekend, as these two teams will duke it out in the Eastern Conference. We are underway here on a sunny day in Kansas City, Kansas. Beautiful weather here in early March to get the 2020 USL Championship season started. Immediately, Charlotte Independence moving down the center of the pitch, but it's stolen back by SKC2, who are wearing the sporting blue, the light blue, all light blue strip here this afternoon, going up against the more traditional royal blue, I guess you would call it, of Charlotte Independence. Doug McClagan, that might be an interesting one to see here, blue on blue, to start the season for these two teams.
Well, it could be a little bit difficult to call here. Colors are not too far off from each other. So we got a feeling a blue team's going to win today, though.
I think, well, it could be a draw, Doug. You never know, but if there's a winner, it will be a blue team. I believe they call this hue Carolina blue in the Charlotte neighborhoods, but it's called sporting blue here in Kansas City. And SKC2 already starting with a good spell of possession, and then Camden Riley looking for Jalen Lindsay, and it's defended well out of play by Duke LaCroix. And of course, Doug, I think we'll see this 4-3-3 possession style system that Sporting Kansas City like to employ through their academy all the way to the first team. And we saw that with the name change in the offseason. The club formerly known as the Swope Park Rangers now becoming Sporting Kansas City 2, to even, I think, emphasize more that point of this similar style of play and similar way of playing soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. We won't see much of a change from last year. It's built on possession. It's built on keeping the ball, moving numbers up the field together. And yeah, you're going to see it all the way from 1 to Sporting Kansas City 2. Absolutely.
Now, Sporting Kansas City 2 last season, 26 points, finished 18th in the Eastern Conference. They're okay on the goal scoring end. It was the goals conceded that really SKC2 struggled with last season. 80 conceded throughout the year. That was tied for second worst in the entire USL Championship, and that's something they'll try and focus on this season, shaping things up on the defensive end of the field.
Yeah, and one of the reasons for that, I feel, Sporting Kansas City 2 went really young last year, and I think a lot of those goals were given just away from a lack of experience in the last 15, 20 minutes. We have a fairly experienced team out here today, so I'm expecting less goals given away by Sporting Kansas City 2 today.
There's one of those experienced players, Graham Smith, 24-year-old along the back line, feeds it into Jalen Lindsay looking for Wilson Harris. Drifts all the way through to Brandon Miller. But a decent looking attack there for SKC2.
Yeah, not a bad idea there. He's curling the ball in towards the keeper, coming away from the keeper, hopefully to run on to Mr. Harris in the middle there, but just put a little bit too far and it ran into the keeper's hands. So not a bad idea to start off with there at all.
Maybe a little bit of a special afternoon here for Jalen Lindsay. Born in Charlotte, North Carolina, before heading over to Kansas City to join the Sporting Kansas City Academy. top prospect in the Sporting Kansas City set up on loan from Sporting Kansas City here this afternoon. There he is playing it forward for Harris again.
Yeah, definitely one of the players I'm looking forward to watch this year. Didn't get in much last year because of injury, but the kid is a solid player, and looking forward to seeing a full season from him this year, and we're going to see lots and lots of top quality play from this boy.
He started the first game of the season last year for Sporting KC2 before having that knee injury that kept him out for several months. Wound up making 14 appearances in total. Started to regain his fitness and his sea legs there at the end of last season. Still just 19 years old, Jalen Lindsay.
Plays with a lot of calmness and composure on the ball. Very strong, and he's got incredible athletic ability too. So the boy has got it all the way round, and that's why we'd like to see a full season from him. I think we're going to see lots from him, like I said.
Good move there on the far side by Joel Johnson to keep this attack alive for Charlotte. Here comes the other fullback, Duke LaCroix. Alongside Jack Mayer, a couple of new players in the lineup along the back line here for Charlotte Independence on that left side. Again, Graham Smith will carry things forward for Sporting Kansas City too. Talked about Charlotte Independence also missing the playoffs. That was their second season in a row missing out on the playoffs. 38 points. They actually were solid defensively, about middle of the pack with the 53 goals allowed, but they had a real tough time scoring goals last season. Charlotte Independence, just 42 goals towards the bottom of the league, and that's probably why they brought this guy in, Dane Kelly.
Exactly, I was just going to say, when you bring in Dane Kelly, they've also brought him in to come and add to that total they scored last year, which was not a very good total at all, but with him and Martinez up front, I think you're going to see more goals from them. And if they can defend like they did last year, then they've got a good chance this year.
Just a brave bit of play by Wilson Harris. Knew he was going to get on the wrong end of a tackle there, but stuck his foot in, kept the attack alive, and then Camden Riley earns SKC2 a corner. Recovery by Hugh Roberts to be able to get back and deflect that out for a corner, but now Gianluca Busio comes over to take a corner from the exact same corner he took one for last night for Sporting Kansas City. Wound up as a goal. Kyrie Shelton prodded that one home. This one drifts out of play off the touch of Camden Riley.
Yeah, we must be on the same page, because as soon as he walked over there, I'm like, I think I saw this last night. Well, unfortunately, the end product wasn't there.
He made a plea on social media, Gianluca Busio, to MLS, trying to get him an assist for that corner kick. Wound up as a Kyrie Shelton goal.
So you're saying he didn't get one?
I'm not sure if it was officially given to him.
Wow, it was a beautiful ball in by him. He picked him out. It's a great finish by Sheldon. No complaining about that. But I'd be shocked if he doesn't get an assist for that.
Maybe took it a deflection on the way in. The dubious assist panel. We'll have to see. But here comes Busio, another North Carolina kid in the lineup here from the SKC Academy, the way through to Sporting Kansas City and on loan this evening with SKC2. And there is a wonderful cross-field diagonal. Zay Pedro now trying to poke it in behind there for the on-rushing Felipe Hernandez, well defended, out of play.
Yeah, what a fantastic ball there from Busio. Anywhere from 50 to 60 yards. Brought down by Zay Pedro. I thought he was going to find Lindsay outside and take care of that 2v1 there, but unfortunately couldn't get possession from that.
Well, he gets possession from the throw and has a rip with his left foot there, Zay Pedro. Made a decent impact after signing towards the back end of last season with Sporting Kansas City 2. Came in, 10 starts, 5 goals and 3 assists. Not a bad tally there with a new team.
Yeah, it's always tough to come in and play with a new team, and in 12 appearances he made, like you said, 5 goals and 3 assists. Him and Harris were really hitting it off towards the end of the season, so he'll be looking to continue that. And obviously adding Fredinho Montpremier Hopefully he's going to add to the tally too, and more goals, more goals, more goals, which are always needed.
It was a foul drawn by Dane Kelly. The referee tried to play advantage, but in the end wound up calling it back. Now on the far side, Peter Kuich whistled for the ball out of play, so it'll be a throw in to Charlotte. Good tackle to keep this thing alive, and Dane Kelly in behind. Richard Sanchez quickly off his line. First bit of action there for the captain today for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, it was a great ball in. He may have been offside. Linesman did not flag it. But fortunately for Sporting Kansas City 2, the keeper got out and got his hands on it.
And it's very fortunate for Sporting Kansas City 2 to have Richard Sanchez here available and in action. Another one of those players on loan from Sporting Kansas City. He was selected by SKC in the re-entry draft back in November. Still just 25, and a wonderful pedigree for Richard Sanchez. U17 World Cup champion with Mexico on home soil. Wound up playing in the U20 World Cup a couple years later as well. Here's an offside on Fredinho Montpremier on the far side. Richard Sanchez, just one appearance for Chicago Fire last year after making 25 in 2018. So nice change of scenery for Richard Sanchez. And I know that Peter Vermees and the Sporting Kansas City staff have been really pleased with how well he has performed throughout preseason and into the season now for Sporting Kansas City. Now from the offside, Cameron Riley wins the header. Second ball being battled for, and now pops loose to Busio. Harris into the area. Stood up well, and it's a good sliding challenge. Hugh Roberts puts it out for another SKC2 corner.
Yeah, great play there by Harris. This is what I like about him. He's such a strong forward that he got knocked off the ball, but he never gave up and created a little problem to find the ball loose there. And then with Busio putting him through, just worked so hard and got a corner out of it. And that's just sheer hard work from a big, strong centre forward.
Results in this corner. Gianluca Busio takes it short. Say Pedro trying to get around a defender. Well tackled in the end by Junior Ito. And Ito wounds up winning a foul as well. Good play there by the holding midfielder for Charlotte Independence. And this is a guy, Doug, that I know they're excited about bringing in, Junior Ito. Head coach Mike Jeffries was talking about the steal he can provide in midfield. He wins a foul here in his defensive end right along the touchline. It's an awkward taken free kick there by Brandon Miller. Well handled in the end by Jack Mayer. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Martinez comes up best in that challenge with Camden Riley, but Busio goes to the ground to win it back for SKC2. And now Felipe Hernandez can make one of his trademark darting runs forward into the attack. Here is Hernandez. Jose Pedro just couldn't quite bring the ball under his control. Kevon George pokes it up towards Dane Kelly. He can't keep hold of it. Busio to Montpremier. Back now with Peter Kuich. Good ball retention here from SKC2, keeping it in the attacking half. Over now with Kuich. New signing in the offseason for SKC2, Peter Kuich, coming through the Dinamo Zagreb Academy. Became a mainstay in the Dinamo Zagreb 2 side. Not a bad academy to come through, is that, Doug McClacken? Dinamo Zagreb.
That's an extremely good academy, and be interested to see how he fits in and how he does well with Graham Smith at the back. It'd be good to have a solid 2 centre-backs like those.
Still just 20, Peter Kulic, and a bit of surprise to the Croatian media when he decided to come over to America and sign with SKC2. He's still highly regarded in Croatia, Peter Kulic.
Well, I think that says a lot for the USL Championship, that, you know, a great academy like that, and you've got one of the top players coming over to the USL. That's a great look at saying, hey, how good this league is. So it's a pat on the back there for the USL Championship, absolutely.
Certainly. The Croatian U16 and U19 international, Kulic. Here he is on the ball. Harris well marshaled there by a couple of Charlotte players, and then in the end, a foul drawn here on the near side by Derek Gebhardt.
Well, we're noticing when that ball goes into each team's forwards, the defenders are right up the backside, and you know, it's the first game of the season, everybody's excited, everybody's intense and ready to get stuck in, but there is no time on the ball when that ball's going forward. Both teams are defending ferociously.
There, just as you're talking about it, Doug McClagan, Fredinho Montpremier does exactly what you're saying. Gets stuck in, wins the ball away, and sprinting down the other end, he's upended by Joel Johnson, and that'll be the first yellow card of the afternoon.
Yeah, he showed some good explosive pace to get away there. Be interested to see that get in behind the Charlotte Independence defense. Some good pace and some good strength.
Crowd likes it. The big yellow card, that's a little too big to fit in the referee's pocket, I believe. Same effect anyways, and it'll be a tough remainder of the game here. Good 75 minutes left to go here for Joel Johnson to play with a yellow card.
Yeah, and if I'm Fredinho Montpremier, I'm going to be running at him all day long and tempting him into making a bad choice and maybe catch that second yellow and put up a man advantage.
Here's a set piece opportunity now for SKC2. Gianluca Busio looks interested. He can hit these. It is Busio going for goal, but an easy one in the end for Brandon Miller. Catching practice for the Independence goalkeeper. Had a pretty good year last year for Charlotte. Second in the league in saves. There's a good tackle from Graham Smith on the defensive end for SKC2. Doug, I think that's one of those stats that maybe goalkeepers don't really want to be up there in terms of the league standings, second in the league in saves, but you got to stop the shots that are presented to you. I know you'd probably rather have 0 saves a game.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know. I mean, some goalkeepers like to keep busy as long as they're saves. I mean, I'd hate to stand and go and not have anything to do all day, but you're right. For a team-wise, yeah, you don't want them to be making that many saves.
98 saves to get to that second spot in the league. Oh, here's a nice inside-out move by LaCroix, trying to pop it up to the back post and overhit his cross, but there's a little flash of the attacking powers of the left back for Charlotte Independence, newly brought over after a couple of fantastic seasons with Reno.
Yeah, he's one of those players that's been told, watch this guy, because he's a great defender, but going forward, as we see there, he's got some pace, he's got some technical skills, and the delivery wasn't fantastic, but then again, it is the first game of the season, so he's definitely a player that's going to catch the eye of many of the opposition this year in the Eastern Conference.
Perhaps setting his sights there, that first cross. Here he is now trying to poke it in behind the back line, drifts all the way through the Sanchez. He was second on the team for Reno last year with 42 chances created from that left back position. Big off-season acquisition here for Charlotte Independence. He helps chase this one out of play.
Well, as expected, it's a pretty even game. No one's really grabbed the game by its shirt yet and decided, you know, we're going to control the tempo here. It's back and forth, no real chances really created yet, but it's scrappy and it's very intense as expected for the first game of the season.
Good center back partnership play there between Graham Smith and Peter Kuich. Now Amadou Dia will get forward into the attack for the first time here this afternoon. Lucio. Hand it off to Montpremier, and he's looking for Amadou Dia into the box. Dia slides it across, and it's poked into the back of his own net. An own goal for the Charlotte Independents, and it's 1-0 to Sporting Kansas City 2.
And that was all made by an absolute exquisite ball by Fredinho Montpremier. That was just an unbelievable bent ball with the outside of his foot that got in behind the defense, and then a nice cross by the fullback and accidentally knocked in by the own player of Charlotte. But what a fantastic ball to get in behind the back four.
Not a memory that Jack Mayer will want to bring up in his first professional game here on loan from Nashville. Amadou Dia getting forward into the attack. His cross ends up in the back of the net via Jack Mayer, and it's 1-0 to the home side.
Yeah, I'm not sure Jack Mayer really could have done anything about it. It was the good thing about the cross, it was driven in. And when it's got pace on it and it hits you, it tends to go in the direction you're running, and that's back towards his own goal. So unlucky for Mayer. I don't think he could have done anything about that.
Of course, the second pick of this year's MLS Super Draft out of Indiana. USA U18 International, and you know, Nashville have high hopes for him. It was great TV to see Nashville pull up with a bus full of fans to the Mayer household in St. Louis to make the draft pick on draft day. We'll start the season on loan here with Charlotte, and we'll hope that the rest of the game will go a little more smoothly for him. But you talked about it, this man, Amadou Dia, with a nice driven cross that really made it difficult to defend in the end. Riley can't find Zay Pedro on the near side. But that's exactly why Sporting Kansas City brought Amadou Dia back into the fold. Dia spent a couple of good seasons here out of college. A foul on Riley. This 20th pick in the 2015 Super Draft, Amadou Dia made 37 appearances for Sporting Kansas City in 2 years before moving to Phoenix Rising, and what a Phoenix Rising team he was a part of, and a big part of as well, Amadou Dia. Back-to-back Defender of the Year awards for the team for Phoenix Rising, including last season. He really has earned his way back to Sporting Kansas City, and he's on loan here this afternoon. And the main creator there of that goal, or one of the main creators of the goal for SKC2.
Absolutely tremendous fullback, and we've got 4 really good attacking fullbacks on this field today. And it's great to see Dia get forward, but I think you're going to see the other 3 also getting into high attacking positions and causing problems. It's always nice to see attacking fullbacks, and like I said, we've got a bunch of them out here today.
Amadou Dia, Jalen Lindsay, we've already seen Duke LaCroix get forward. Perhaps Joel Johnson with that yellow card will have to be a little more cautious than the other 3. But I think you're right, Doug. I think some wonderful fullbacking play could be on display here this afternoon. Amadou Dia already exemplifying that. That wonderful cross turned into the back of Charlotte's own net. 1-0 to score here after 22.5 minutes played. Here, Paulo Nagamura barking out Portuguese to Zay Pedro along the near side. Miller now, the long kick forward and offside on Dane Kelly, coming back from an offside position to try and win that header.
That's great offensive pressure there from Sporting Kansas City too, and as they're pressing high, defense steps up, and you just caught Dane Kelly sleeping for a second in an offside position. So good defensive, and I'm talking about all 10 of them. Good defensive work there by Sporting Kansas City too.
Montpremier into the feet of Harris. He's done a good job to dig that one out. Finds Zay Pedro. Tripped over his own feet there, but gets it back to Montpremier in the box. Tries for the cross, deflected away by LaCroix. Another SKC2 corner incoming here.
Yeah, Zipedro wanted to lay it off, I think, but in the last second decided to change his mind and slotted it inside. And a good effort there, takes a deflection and in for another corner.
Fredinho starting to come alive in this game. Wonderful ball over the top that led to the first goal. Here he is creating an opportunity for a corner kick. Zé Pedro coming over with his left foot towards the back post. Riley's there, double header, but a foul called against Camden Riley. So he was going up against Jack Mayer there in the box. Good defending there by the center back.
Yeah, I think his hands were all over Mayer's back. He's climbing all over him, and that's why the call's been given, I think.
We'll see another look at this one. I think you're spot on, Doug McLagan. A little two-handed shove there by Camden Riley. Referee this afternoon, Lucas Spalla, on top of that one. Joel Johnson penned in by Montpremier and then kept alive by Dia. And Montpremier comes free with the ball momentarily. It'll poke off of Charlotte Independence player, but kept in play by Johnson. And Sanchez there makes a meal of it. And now it's in behind. And poked home! Derek Gebhard takes advantage of the mistake and levels the score here, 1-1.
Yeah, Sanchez, I mean, he wanted to find Lindsay, but unfortunately the forward was in the way, and he probably should have just cleared it forward, trying to be a little bit too delicate, hit the forward, and just lands at his feet for a tap-in. Yeah, he'd have been better maybe just changing his idea, keeping the ball at his feet, because he didn't have that much pressure initially. You could see he wanted to get out to Lindsay. It just unfortunately got blocked, and that's a sad goal to give up, really, when you're winning 1-0 and fairly comfortable, and that'll be very disappointing there for not only Sporting Kansas City 2, but obviously our goalkeeper there, who's made a big error.
Tough mistake there for Richard Sanchez in his first match with the Sporting Kansas City 2. There it is, Doug. We had a little bit of a bet who would slip up and say Swope Park Rangers, and now I lose the bet.
Well, I feel a bit better now because I swore it was going to be me.
Well, it's 1-1 here, and as sad as Richard Sanchez will be, there's a high boot in the center of the pitch. Camden Riley taking the brunt of that challenge. And Kevon George here, I think, pulling the old trick of, oh, I'm injured as well. Because, yeah, there's a lot of contact there. Boot pretty high from Kevon George, and I think he'll be lucky to escape a yellow card here.
Yeah, he's got a high boot, but I mean, give credit to Cameron Riley. He never backed out at all, and he saw his foot coming in there, so crazy putting his head in there. But I think he came away with no yellow card, and I think that's fine. I don't think George meant it, so.
Escapes the referee's pocketbook there, Kevon George. As I was saying, as sad as Richard Sanchez and SKC2 will be with that goal, it will be a happy return for Derek Gebhard, number 27 there on wide left midfield, starting here today. Making his return to Charlotte after he was on loan in Charlotte in 2018. Signed permanently this offseason after spending last season with El Paso and Oklahoma City. And scoring a goal on his return. Had 1 goal in 6 appearances for Charlotte back in 2018, so he's already matched that total here in 2020.
Yeah, probably won't be his best goal ever, but, you know, in the end, who cares? The goal is a goal.
Took it well in the end after not exactly sure where it wound up, careening off his head, but settled it down and finished it nicely under pressure there from Richard Sanchez. Equalize things here for Charlotte. There he is trying to tackle in on Lindsay. Strong for Jalen Lindsay to keep possession. Busio, edge of the box, well blocked. Now Harris, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge in the box. Fans wanted a foul, but that looked like clean defending by Duke LaCroix.
I think it was just shoulder to shoulder, and Harris was a little off balance, and that's why he fell to the ground.
Some good play in midfield there by junior E2. Quick feet, dashes around a double team, plays it forward, and Charlotte now earned a foul to relieve a little bit of pressure. Well, fans, don't miss an action don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Sporting KC2 or Charlotte Independence, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on Sporting KC2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. There is a yellow card challenge, as Dane Kelly will be the next Charlotte player to go in the book here this afternoon.
And he's not complaining about that one. That's a definite yellow. Busio just got there before him, and he's coming in a little bit late. And he knows immediately, yep, I'm going to see yellow for that one.
Of course, Dane Kelly making a return to a club he used to play for when they were called the Swope Park Rangers back in 2016. 8 goals and 24 regular season appearances, but most notably, a wonderful run in the playoffs, including the best goals in club history. Shorthanded 9 on 11 in the playoffs. Dane Kelly gets the goal in overtime to help propel SKC2 to the USL Championship final in their first ever season. E2 again with wonderful feet under pressure. Finds Martinez. McCoy and to the goal scorer Gebhardt. Left that a little short, but Lindsay's tackle pokes free to the feet of a Charlotte player. And now Kelly looking for the switch of play, and referee's going to pull it back for the advantage. The foul on Valentin Sabella.
Yeah, it's a fair enough call. Definite foul there, and no advantage came from the play, so good call by the referee. And again, another example of just the scrappiness in midfield. Ball being turned over left, right, and center here, and the defenders up the backside. It's a highly competitive game. As, like I said, it's the first game of the season. You expect it.
Some good tackles flying in. That was a foul against Kuich, and now he and the rest of SKC2 will have a set piece to defend off the very talented right boot of Enzo Martinez. Here he is curling it in towards the penalty spot, past the heads of everybody. And flashing past Richard Sanchez left-hand post.
Dangerous ball in. Nobody from Charlotte really got close to it, but if they would have got a touch on that, that could be extremely dangerous. So good ball in, just forwards really never got anywhere close to it.
Half an hour gone, and a highly entertaining, competitive first match of the 2020 season for these two clubs. Dia trying to stride forward again. Johnson tackles it out of play. And this one defended out. It'll be another corner. They're starting to mount up here in the first half for Sporting Kansas City 2.
So I feel like we've seen a bunch of corners here. Love to know the number on that, because I've seen Bussi over there 2 or 3 times at least. But you don't get points for corners, you get points for goals. So can someone get on the end of it? 4th
corner of the first half here for SKC2, and it's well defended. Speaking of well defended, Hernandez wins it back high up the pitch. Zé Pedro now dribbling into a couple of blue shirts. And Lindsay now. Back with Camden Riley. Busio demanding the ball. Swing of his right boot finds Amadou Dia. Tried to go around Sabella, well defended. And Dia winds up tackling it out of play. Good story, Valentin Sabella. Of course, last season, part of the UPSL side, Florida Soccer Soldiers, who made a wonderful run in the US Open Cup, including knocking out Charlotte Independence, and as a result of that, he earned a contract with Charlotte. Wound up playing 18 games for for the Independents last year. Got a goal and an assist, and he's getting a start in their first match of 2020.
That's the way to do it, isn't it? You go up a level and you play against a top team, and you go score against them, you have a great performance, and they're watching going, who's this kid? And so that is a fantastic story.
Smith, a little late there from Dane Kelly, who is on a yellow card. Don't think that's at all in danger of another yellow, but there's a foul here. Now quickly restarted by SKC2, and Ferdinand Montpremier finds Dia. Graham Smith, again, finds his center back partner, Kuich. Trying to float that one in the direction of Dia, well defended by Johnson. It's a good spell of possession here for SKC2, but Charlotte able to keep them right around the halfway line for most of it.
Yep, they're keeping that ball, they're probing the ball around, looking for a breakthrough. And right now it's not easy. Charlotte is defending very, very well, very intense. But like you said, Sporting Kansas City 2 is just going to knock that ball around until they get an opportunity to penetrate or to switch that point attack like we've got right here.
There's Busio dropping into a pocket of space, looking for Dia, and then a little mix-up between Dia and Montpremier, who falls to the ground. Wilson Harris clattered into by Johnson. Quickly restarted by Busio. Montpremier lays it back for Busio. His shot blocked, but it finds its way to Zé Pedro. Trying to dance around a defender and just tripped over his own feet in the box there, the Portuguese winger. Riley again. Jalen Lindsay heads it across, and well defended by Mayer. It'll be out for the 5th corner of the first half.
Yeah, nice little ball floated in there by Riley, and Lindsay tried to knock it back across the face of the goal, but unfortunately blocked from the defender of the Charlotte Independence player. But nice idea to put it back across the face for the forward running onto it, but well defended, like I said.
Jack Mayer there, center back defending for Charlotte. Lucio towards the edge of the 6. Enzo Martinez says anywhere else will do, and they'll defend another corner kick here, Charlotte Independence. Zé Pedro now with the left foot towards the near post. Wilson Harris was trying to stoop low to get a piece of that, but he missed, and it clatters off Joel Johnson, out for another corner now. 7 in the first half.
Yeah, it was a good ball in, and if he could just have touched that, that could have been very dangerous.
Taken short. Amadou Dia prodding it in towards the 6. Jalen Lindsay was there, but it was well defended, and now a chance to counter for Charlotte, but the ball just didn't match the run. Sanchez well off his line and able to marshal this one. Kuich, how about that? Switch of play, looking for Zé Pedro, but LaCroix just beating Zé Pedro for pace there. Using some good strength to hold off the challenge as well. Good play from Duke LaCroix.
Yeah, it was a great ball from Kuich. It's exactly the ball you needed. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too far forward. Defender got there, and that's just pure strength there by LaCroix. Just pure strength, and he was fouled and pulled back by Zé Pedro. So great play there.
Miller will pump this one forward into the attacking half. Smith with a defensive header to Montpremier. His pass just over the outstretched boot of Wilson Harris. So we'll go all the way back now Brandon Miller. And that'll be a foul against Amadou Dia. So a free kick for Charlotte.
Not sure if I saw a foul in there. It's the way the game has really gone all day. It's defenders in the back of forwards. And didn't look too bad, but obviously the referee saw something a little bit. Maybe it was right there with a hand around the neck. I don't know.
It was actually flagged by the assistant there on the far side. Derek Gebhard has gone down the edge of the SKC2 penalty area, so having to defend with 10 players for a couple of seconds there as Gebhard now charges back into formation. Hernandez. Good first touch, cushioned on the thigh by Zay Pedro, now dribbling into the area, tackled away nicely by Gebhard. And Busio clatters into a challenge there, foul on the SKC2 midfielder.
There's just top quality defending there by the Charlotte Independents. You got one on the ball, staying on his feet, and then you got your covering defender in behind. So you cut past the first one, the second one picks it up. That's just solid defense there.
The USL Championship makes its regular season debut on ESPN Deportes Friday, March 27th. Two of the top contenders in the East meet as the Tampa Bay Rowdies host Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. It's the championship on ESPN Deportes from Tampa Bay, Friday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. 6 Central. Since that's where we are.
That's right.
Back underway here from the free kick. Brandon Miller again trying to poke it forward. Awkward one for Kevon George, who goes down holding his head. And the referee, Lucas Spalla, wants to stop play here and wave on the Charlotte trainer to take a look at Kevon George. Really see it was coming together between him and Camden Riley.
Yeah, when he went up, I think his right elbow, it was a pure accident, his right elbow, I think, caught him in the face.
It's going to sting for Kevon George. He's holding his left temple there. And after that play, it was a foul against Jalen Lindsay. So another set piece for Charlotte. Enzo Martinez to take. Wonderful curling delivery, headed down and still alive in the box, smothered by Richard Sanchez.
Definitely made up from his first error there. He came out, made himself really, really big, and made sure he got in the way of that attempt there. That's good goalkeeping. Fantastic goalkeeping.
Not sure if that header was intended to be a pass, but it fell to the feet of Jack Mayer, who must have been dreaming of a goal on his debut.
There's another good ball in by Martinez, and this time they actually got on it, whereas the first time they didn't. And a dangerous ball curving in towards the goalkeeper. Forward got a head on it, and goalie Sanchez did really well to come out there and make himself big. And else they could have been walking in at half-time with 2 or 3 minutes left, down by a goal. So definitely made up for his first error of the game.
Then from the corner kick, taken short and worked back to Martinez, who didn't get that delivery quite up to his normal standard. Goes out for a throw-in, but it's won high up the pitch by Charlotte. Gebhard back now with E2. Charging in was Montpremier out of nowhere to block that pass. It's back now with E2. He sprays a pass over to Johnson on the far side. Just about gets away from Montpremier, delivers across. It's a wonderful leap there by Richard Sanchez, right at the high point, catches the ball.
That was his the whole way. He called it early, came out and took it with a lot of confidence.
Charlotte able to get back defensively to prevent any sort of counter there from SKC2. So Jalen Lindsay recycles it, and it'll go all the way back now with Kuich. Premier.
Both teams extremely well organized defensively, and it's just going to be moving that ball around, waiting for the one opportunity to penetrate, and then maybe get an opportunity and score. But here's a mistake that might lead to that.
Pedro sliding it through for Hernandez. It's a wonderful cross. Oh, what a save! Wilson Harris on the doorstep, denied by Brandon Miller.
Well, what a fantastic ball in, and what a tremendous header. Unfortunately, if it went half a yard either side of the goalkeeper, it's got to be a goal. Went straight at him, and that really still is a great save. But 6 inches to his left or 6 inches to his right, that's in the back of the net, and that would have been a fantastic goal. Great ball in, great header.
Well, he pounded the turf in frustration there, Wilson Harris. He must have thought he did everything right. Headed it into the ground as well. You spotted it. What a delivery from Felipe Hernandez.
That's a name that's been pretty quiet today so far for the first half. We've not really said his name too much. And that shows you one opportunity and a ball in like that, and Sporting Kansas City 2 was almost in the lead.
You see why Brandon Miller did lead, or was second in the league in saves last season. Wonderful split-second reaction there.
Yeah, and that opportunity, we talked about them knocking the ball around, waiting for the opportunity. The opportunity never came. That was an error and a turnover that gave Sporting Kansas City 2 the chance to get in behind them, and almost took advantage of it.
1 minute of stoppage time here added on in the first half. We're into that minute now. And Charlotte again with a free kick just past the halfway line this time. Martinez has had a few opportunities, and he'll clip this one in, edge of the area. Smith, rising highest, heads this one away. Lindsay. Poor touch from Hernandez. Back in with Lindsay. And there's another foul on Dane Kelly.
Yeah, Dane Kelly's got to watch. He's already in the book, I think, and he's given a little 2 or 3 little niggly fouls. He's just got to be a little careful. I mean, that's not a yellow card there, but if you keep on doing it, he's going to get called for persistence. So he's got to be a little careful there.
Running full. What's his left back?
Pedro. Back now with Riley as we're just over the minute of added time. Kuich has his shot blocked from long range. Referee takes a look at his watch and blows the whistle to end the first half here. And a half full of ambition, full of competition, perhaps not quite full of chances. Brandon Miller coming up huge right on the stroke of halftime there to preserve what is a 1-1 game in the first half. An own goal from Jack Mayer, first of all, and then an equalizer from Derek Gebhard. The scores here in the first half. 1-1 score at the halftime break.
Used to have friends, but I got enemies. Dude, they love these ropes. Oh, did you get a... Oh. Well, they left me out. I'm about to get a nice tan today, I'll tell you that. Might be my lucky day. I'll have to jog. I repeat, I'm out of luck. We are currently jogging. I'm already tired. What's going on?
Hold up.
There we go.
Spread it out. Give yourself some space, please.
Yeah, I should be on the Chiefs. I'm lightning quick. This is a long warm-up today. I'm not sure how it's done. Whew. That was quick, yo. Hey, you're a little bit slow, though. What? You didn't forget me? Yeah. Yeah, I should be a receiver. It's all right, y'all hating on me. It's all good. I floated, bro. I was floating on water from. Yes, sir. We're still warming up. Man. Yeah, I got. Yeah. Come on, man. Go. 1, 2, 3. Out! Out! Go! 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 Where are you going, bro? I didn't step too gaudy because I was like, if guy touches it and plays me, I'm gone. I can't get there.
Good ball.
Yeah, it's on.
First time if you can.
Just say if V's is driving like that, and you're inside, and if you think you can win the ball and like tackle him a little bit because there's pressure on the ball, then go ahead. Be aggressive. If not, he can't play down the middle because it'd be a hard angle if Boost is stuck inside.
Yeah,
but if he's outside, yeah, I got it. I got that. Grab. What do you mean? Yeah, you got the skills, yo.
I said, what? You did a little.
Wait, look at me. Yaga. This is a wicked turn. Wicked turn. No, sorry, my bad. That's on me, bro. I know. Look at him trying to get in the mic. Yo, are we serious about doing this broadcast or the podcast? All right, Uber Eats pay away, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that was terrible. Go on, pal. Wasn't even funny, bro.
Wait, what did you say? And Dookie beat you. Joey, what did you say?
Yes, sir, every day.
Right there, that's me. Where's Jalen?
All right, show him.
Where are you?
You can't even see me.
Look at him.
Oh, zone 6, here we go. See, I'm right there in third place at 215. Busio is, oh my, 82. Right there. Oh my gosh.
Come on. Nice and tight here. Bring it in tighter. Nice and tight.
Everything we do matters. Very few people in the world ever get an opportunity like this.
We talked about making history, right? And what are you going to do to change history? When it's your turn to make a tackle, are you going to make that tackle? Are you going to score the goal? Are you going to make the save and throw a few miracles for us? Grab your freaking moments. That's my point.
Huge credit to every one of you. Massive performance coming on, the way that you press, and please for every one of you.
This is an awesome time, and we're going to show them that we're for real. We are for real because we all believe in each other, right? This is our moment. This is our moment to shine.
Every single day, guys, we have to fight to create our identity.
Take your moment within the games and make them your moments. Let's go out there and kick. Come on. Go. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, what a job he is doing. Leo Fernandez tries to shake a defender. Johnson trying to cross one in. Still alive in the box and scored! Oh, shot! Oh! Forbes turning on the speed.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kelsey Steele, Scott Stewart here from USL HQ in beautiful Tampa, Florida. How better to get this season going than laying out our top signings
to get a more advanced position on the field.
Sit in. It's Jimmy Ashford!
Himself from attacking the back four, gets that chance to bury it. That gives Earl Edwards Jr. absolutely no chance. Why? Because it's in the top corner. You're never going to have a chance. It's over the wall. It's the perfect.
Popped up Moore with the left.
Oh!
And Moore with the second goal. He now has a brace.
Look at the touch there. That's Soler
Halftime here at Children's Mercy Park. Patrick Harry loving it. His first appearance of the 2020 season as well. And it's a 1-1 scoreline between Sporting Kansas City 2 and Charlotte Independence. Saw a wonderful piece there about Jalen Lindsay mic'd up, the Charlotte native, playing against his hometown club here. And let's take a look at the highlights from what has been a gritty first half between these two teams, Doug McFlagan.
Yeah, there's a nice ball in there, just a little bit too far forward. The keeper picks it up, no problem. Great switch ball here from Lucio. And it gives you that 2-on-1 situation there. And here's a chance for Kelly, but the keeper gets on top of it, no problem.
Here is the opening goal, started from the boot of new signing Fredinho Montpremier.
Yeah, how about that for a ball with the outside the foot and the cross, unfortunately hits the defender. And here's not the best decision there from the goalie there, and unfortunately an easy tap in to tie the game.
Pounced on.
But he does make it up here with a fantastic save. Just making his body big, getting in the way, kept him in the game. And talking about fantastic saves, how about this? Wow.
Right on the stroke of halftime there, Brandon Miller keeps things even in the first half. 1-1 the score line. Let's take a look at the first half stats, and as you would expect, 64% possession for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, no shock. We talked about that at the start of the game. That's what they do. They keep the ball moving. They keep it going from side to side, change the point attack, looking for gaps to penetrate. They've not got through enough, but they'll be trying to get through more in that second half to create better opportunities.
Meanwhile, for Charlotte, really have struggled to get anything going forward. Can't get the one goal off of the mistake from Richard Sanchez, but the only other shot we saw there came from a set-piece situation. Set pieces have seemed to be a big part of the Charlotte attack here this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 shots, 2 on target, can't complain there, and shouldn't really be tied at the half, but they are, and so now they're going to bank in, be strong defensively, and hope maybe for another set piece again.
Of course, the first match for each team. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Sporting Kansas City 2, as they have a nice little home stretch to start the season, SKC 2, but some big matches there with some traditional Eastern Conference powerhouses.
Yeah, Indy 11 was brilliant last year. I just remember that they were one of my favorite teams that came here that I really enjoyed watching them play. And then obviously Memphis is very good too. So yeah, they've got some tough ones coming up, but it's nice to start with a couple, 2 or 3 games at home.
Of course, Tim Howard announcing that he will play again this season for Memphis 901 FC, so he'll be coming to town back to Children's Mercy Park on the 22nd. Let's take a look around the league as USL Championship kicks off its 10th season in 2020. Had more than 80 countries represented in the league in 2019. Taking a look at that average age in the league, 25.1 years old. That's a decent number for the USL Championship. And we saw San Diego Loyal in their first ever game under head coach Landon Donovan, drawing Las Vegas Lights yesterday in wonderful kickoff to the 2020 season, the 10th season of the USL Championship underway this weekend. Well, it's 1-1 here at the break between Sporting Kansas City 2 and the Charlotte Independence. Will one of these teams find a winner in the second half? It's been a fascinating encounter so far. We'll have the second half kick return from the break here in Kansas City. Welcome back here. We've got some SKC2 super fans in the building. I don't know about the backwards hat, but they're watching a 1-1 here in the first half. Carter Augustine joined by Doug McClagan, and Doug, it's been a combative first half, certainly. What are you looking for in the second half? Let's start with the keys to the game for SKC2.
Well, I think SKC2 has got to do what they're doing, which is moving the ball around, changing the point attack as quick as they can, just so they can get a gap in between that low block that Charlotte Independence is playing right now. If they can get a gap and penetrate and get players to turn and run at the back fours and get in behind them, I think they're going to create some opportunities. But right now, Charlotte Independence is defending extremely well.
And for Charlotte, what would you like to see more from them? They've defended well here in the first half, but what do you want to see from them in the second?
Well, I'm sure you're going to see them defend this way in the second half, and I think, like you said earlier, they may be relying on a set piece or a quick breakaway opportunity for Kelly and maybe Martinez to get on it. But right now, they'll probably be quite happy, I think, the way things have gone. And if they can walk away with a tie, they'll probably be quite happy with that, or maybe even to steal a goal late in the game.
Well, Brandon Miller, the big save there at the end of the first half. Keep things level at 1 apiece. And just about ready to get back underway here in the second half from Children's Mercy Park. Wilson Harris, the man who had his diving header saved. It's been handful here in the first half. We saw Jalen Lindsay mic'd up at halftime, the Charlotte native. As we're back underway here in Kansas City. Team switch sides. Charlotte now going from left to right. SKC2 from right to left, wearing the all sporting blue, the light blue strip. Charlotte in the royal blue with the white trim. And this the first of each team's 2020 season.
You and I had talked a little bit over half-time that Felipe Hernandez has been very quiet today, and so that's one thing I would like to see for Sporting Kansas City too, is to get him on the ball, because last year he was probably the most consistent player with 8 goals and 5 assists, and he's been very quiet today, but you know, he's not seen the ball a lot either, so maybe get the ball at his feet, maybe get him to start turning on and playing things and doing things that we know he can do.
Those 5 assists led the team last season, Felipe Hernandez. There's Busio. Wonderful switch of play. Montpremier on the half volley sends across into the penalty area, and it's cleared away. It'll be a throw-in.
And that's what we talked about, changing that point of attack quickly. And Busio's done that several times in the first half, but a great ball out there to Fredinho. And unfortunately, the ball in was a tough one. It was over the center forward's head, but that's the idea of changing that point of attack, getting that defense to shift and create gaps and openings to attack.
Kuich now finds Busio in the same position here on the left-hand side. Good ball into Hernandez, who sees the ball bounce up, takes a smack with the right peg, and goes out of play for a goal kick.
He snatched at that a little bit, and maybe, like we say, he's not seen much of the ball, so there was an opportunity to get him, so he's probably thinking, well, I better take my opportunities while I get him. But he snatched at that a little bit and didn't quite hit it well.
Of course, we saw him score a few long-range bangers in those 8 goals he scored last season. Felipe Hernandez does have that in his locker. Just, as you said, just didn't quite get a good connection on that shot on the half volley. Then Kelly draws a foul here for Charlotte. And nothing given there. Play on now, says the referee, as the ball slides just past the outstretched boot of Joel Johnson.
And he's going to have a word with Camden Raleigh. He gave him a little shove in the back. I think it was a little bit of a dramatic flop, but just having a word. Hey, quit that. Stop doing that stuff.
It's not the first time we've seen Camden Riley with a little two-handed shove.
No, it is not.
So the referee, Lucas Spalla, is having a word with Camden Riley. I think that might be the last time he gets away with it. Montpremier finds a nice pass over to the left-hand side. Zay Pedro dashes around one into the area. Zay Pedro, his shot blocked away. Johnson gets in front of it. There's another nice pass off the boot of Fernino Mompremier.
Yeah, I wonder if Nagamura covered that at half-time, because we've seen two really quick changes of point of attack, and they've created two opportunities to get in behind. I just wish Z Pedro maybe would have pulled the trigger there with probably his right foot, but I know he's more comfortable on his left, but he had an opportunity to rip one there and decided not to.
Yeah, looked like he wanted to get back onto that left foot the entire time. Did have space to shoot with the right. Premier can't quite connect with Riley there. It's been a decent debut here for SKC2 for Mompremier.
Yeah, I like what I see. He's strong, he's fast, he's willing to run at players. His final thing he's done has not been fantastic, other than the ball on the first goal. But there is potential here for this boy to cause some chaos up front for opposition this year.
Pedro sneaking in behind. Picks up the ball, and here is Mompremier into the penalty area. Just gets that touch a little too far out from his feet and allows Mayer to come over and clear.
Yeah, good positioning, good ball in, but then his first touch was a little bit off, and I'm being nice there.
Coming over from FC Tulsa, Mompremier actually scored his first pro goal last year against Charlotte Independence in the Open Cup.
Played 20 appearances, only had 9 starts, so you know, as a rookie, that's really not bad. And he's going to be in a position here where hopefully he'll get plenty of appearances and plenty of starts, and I think there's a lot of potential in this kid.
Riley draws the foul from Dane Kelly.
Sporting want to get that ball and start moving that ball quick. Put the ball down, immediately take the free kick and get the ball rolling again.
There's a chance for Charlotte to counter. Mompremier's pass was intercepted, but there's some excellent defending by Graham Smith to snuff out the challenge on the far side. Duke LaCroix streaking forward from his left back position, but well marshaled by this man, Smith. Now to the feet of Riley, back with Kuic.
Take it, come on, Zach.
And Kuic again. Coming out of that Dinamo Zagreb academy that's produced the likes of Luka Modric, Jan Lovren, among others.
Sporting moving that ball around well, but then again, we just talked about this with Fredinho. Maybe his last pass or his first touch has not always been the best today. Just roll the ball out of bounds there, but Sporting's got to have to be patient and knock that ball around, and those opportunities will come, and then they've just got to take them when they come.
Another loose touch from Mompremier after Riley had intercepted well for Sporting KC2. Kuic has his pass intercepted by Gebhard. It's back now with Sporting.
Maybe it's first day blues, but both teams are they're getting opportunities, and either it's a bad pass or a bad touch or a bad decision. A little bit shaky this start, the second half.
Here's an aimless pass straight into the feet of Riley, and a chance now to counter for SKC2. Mompremier looking to clip it towards the back post, and that's over the head of everybody and over the frame of the goal.
Yeah, not his best decision there. I would have liked him to just put his head down, go run at the fullback and get inside that box. But he went for the chip. I'm not sure if it was a shot or a cross, but nothing came of it.
Fans, follow Sporting KC2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. We thank you for tuning in on a fine afternoon here in Kansas City. 10th season of the USL Championship underway, and what wonderful growth we've seen in the league over these 10 years. 35 teams this season will play just under 600 games. Over 33 weeks, we've seen the season expand for USL. The games have increased fivefold. Number of teams has more than tripled in these 10 years. It's been wonderful growth in the USL Championship.
The other stat, you said 80 different countries represented. That's incredible.
Oh, here's a nice shot from Zé Pedro, parried aside by Brandon Miller. Still alive for SKC2. Montpremier, can he keep hold to it? He can. Finds Lindsay. Now Lindsay continuing his run. Good build-up play here. Zé Pedro has his shot blocked from the edge of the area.
Some great ball movement there, and Pedro got that first shot off. Sat right on his left peg, and that's a good strike. And that's a really good save because that ball bounced about 1.5 yards just in front of the keeper. And those are tough ones to judge, whether it's going to bounce high, when it's going to die. So tremendous save again there by Brandon Miller.
Did well to parry it well outside of the frame of goal as well. Didn't give up a chunky rebound.
You're right, that would have been easy just to save it, and it comes straight in front of the goal for a tap-in. So yeah, he directed that extremely well.
Sanchez, who will want to forget that mistake that led to the Charlotte goal. Finds a good pass into the feet of Montpremier, and there's some good work between he and Hernandez. Trying to get it on the ball a little bit more here in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Hernandez signed a homegrown contract with Sporting KC in August of last year after, you mentioned, Doug, just really excelling for SKC2 in the regular season. One of the lone bright spots for SKC2 last year. Amadou Diaz cross doesn't find anyone in the area. Trickles out for a goal kick and taken short inside the box. Of course, the new laws of the game going into effect this season for USL and MLS. Take those goal kicks inside your own area. Martinez wanted a foul there on Kuic. I think he had a strong argument. Nothing given by the referee, and here come SKC2. Layoff from Harris to Hernandez from distance. One bounce straight into the arms of Brandon Miller.
Yeah, we've seen him in that position before, and he's hit some bullets from there. So, yep, didn't quite hit it as clean as he'd want to, but he can definitely score from those positions. And at times, Sporting Kansas City 2 is moving the ball 1-2 touch just really, really well. And that's why they're creating opportunities, because when you do that so quickly, there's no chance for the defense to shift over and cover those gaps all the time. So the quick ball movement is creating opportunities to penetrate that back four.
Zé Pedro, that cross deflected by Johnson. LaCroix now looking for some help. Martinez checking back. It's a good way to relieve pressure there, but poor touch by Gebhard, and it's back with SKC2. Busio has been dropping deep a lot here to pick up possession, trying to play make from a deeper position. Clever feet from Harris. He finds a good pass as well. Montpremier cutting it back, still alive. Wilson Harris, left foot, blocked away. Excellent defensive play by Sabella. Zé Pedro trying to exchange a 1-2 with Busio, and it was well read by Johnson. And that was another excellent chance for SKC2 fall to the feet of the man they would want it to, Wilson Harris.
Hey, come on, keep going, come on, come on.
Still 1-1, but this was a close one here for SKC2.
Yeah, I'd like to see that opportunity again, because that was a good block in the end. Pulled back, and yeah, cleared off the line almost.
Goalkeeper looked beaten there, didn't he?
Yep.
Sabella with a crucial intervention. Wilson Harris thought he had picked out the corner.
Yep. And that all started with Wilson Harris too. I think he kind of stumbled on the ball and then won the ball back and then penetrated the ball out there for Fredinho, and Fredinho pulled the ball back to the top of the box, which is a great ball too. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it through the defenders who were in front of him.
Zay Pedro now.
Oh, what a ball.
Tasty looking cross. No one could snack on it in the end.
That's one of those balls where the keeper is standing and thinking, do I come here or do I stay? And that's in between the two lines, and unfortunately nobody could get on the end of it. Sporting is knocking on the door. Now what they've got to do is get in that opportunity and finish one. They really, as of right now, probably deserve to be in the lead, and would disappoint, I think, if they didn't walk away with 3 points the way they're playing right now. And they certainly look like they're the team that's going to score here.
It's been all SKC2 here in the second half. Dia just manages to keep that one in play. And that will lead to the first substitution of the game. And it's for the home side, Sporting Kansas City 2, and it'll be a debut, as Zay Pedro is the man removed to be replaced by Enoch Mushagalusa. Checking into the game, the 20-year-old, making his professional debut here, Enoch Mushagalusa. How about this? In one season at Salt Lake Community College, 27 goals. And here he goes, immediately streaking towards goal, forces a corner kick.
Yeah, I don't care where you're playing. 27 goals in a season, that's very good.
He had announced he was going to transfer to the University of South Carolina before spending preseason with the Colorado Rapids, and then eventually signing here with Sporting Kansas City 2. And his first touch with SKC2 leads to a corner kick. Busio towards the near post. Oh, now it's on the edge of the area. That was just over the head of Wilson Harris. Poor touch from Mushagalusa, and a foul in the end, which will relieve the pressure for Charlotte.
Yeah, they always say when you first come off the bench is catching up with the speed of the game, and unfortunately almost his first touch came out there with an opportunity. If he could have had a good touch, he could have been hitting that in for a goal there, but unfortunately his touch was a little bit off there. I think he would prefer to have that touch maybe 10 minutes, a little bit 10 minutes down the road.
From the Colorado Rapids Academy, Mushagalusa, originally from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of the Congo, before moving over to stateside and popping up with the Rapids Academy. He actually spent a little time in preseason last year with SKC2, but didn't wind up signing. But now here he is back after a wonderful campaign with Salt Lake Community College. Slip pass in for Martinez, who's in behind the defense. Slams it into the goalkeeper. Richard Sanchez again making himself big at the near post.
That is another fantastic save. And just like you said, didn't do anything fancy, just made his body big. I think Kuich took a little bit of a gamble here. He tried to steal the ball. He should have just stayed goal side because that let in Martinez. But thank golly gosh for them that Sanchez was on his toes and came out and made a fantastic block save.
Here's a dangerous looking corner kick. Sanchez had to get a two-fisted punch to that one. That was almost straight into the goal by Sabella.
Yeah, he did very well to get in front of the forward, to get his fist to that. Two massive saves within, a good 30 seconds there. And that just shows you the danger. While Sporting Kansas City 2 is the better team right now, if they don't get on that board, you can see that on set pieces, the Charlotte Independents are very, very dangerous.
And they've made a couple of substitutions here, a double sub for head coach Mike Jeffries here just past the hour mark, and it's some good reinforcements. Two players on loan, Luke Hawkinson on loan from Nashville SC, and Ray Ortiz on loan from FC Cincinnati. Two draft picks in the 2020 Super Draft. And they check in for Valentin Sabella and Derek Gebhard. So it looks like for like there with those two substitutions. Just two different players going to fill in the wide midfield positions here for Coach Jeffries. So a chance now for these two players in their professional debuts. There is Luke Hawkinson, four-year player for Creighton, coming from Maple Grove, Minnesota, and the 80th pick in the draft for Nashville in their first MLS draft. He and fellow Nashville loanee Jack Mayer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pitch, Ray Ortiz checking into the game. He was the 29th overall pick by FC Cincinnati, making his professional debut after a stellar career at the University of Portland. 14 goals and 26 assists in 64 games. Really creative presence on the right side of midfield now for Charlotte. He's got some defending to do here against Mushagalusa. Finds a good pass inside for Dia. Busio.
No foul, no foul. Hey, Luke, stay tucked. Luke, stay tucked in. Junior, up left.
Here goes Mushagalusa again. A good pass inside. Busio turns and has a rip. Palmed away by Brandon Miller.
Yeah, great turn by Busio there. Unfortunately, his shot went straight at the keeper, but he hit it really well.
Premier now with the left foot, looking for the far post and drifting past everyone.
Yeah, he was off balance when he hit that. Didn't make it a clean strike, so it was always going away from the goal.
Here's that chance from Busio again.
Yeah, again, if that, either side of Miller there, that might have been a goal, but unfortunately went straight at him because he put his foot behind that one. A beautiful turn, a beautiful strike.
Yeah, with the weak foot as well there, Busio. Using his strength to hold off the defender on the edge of the area, and I think it just sat up nicely for him, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. He
got
a good
swing.
Good whacking again at the top of the box too. So that's why he's very strong and did very well to turn with it because he was feeling some force from behind.
E2 now drives it forward and into the feet of Ray Ortiz. His first real meaningful action as he tries to drive to the byline and earns a corner kick deflected out by Amadou Dia. Positive work there for Ray Ortiz, first time he's touched the ball.
Yeah, one of his strengths is those one-on-one running at fullbacks, and did very well there, but good defending too by the fullbacks. So it's going to be a good competition between these two for the last 20 or so minutes.
Ortiz will leave it for Martinez. Now they'll work it short. Ortiz clips it over the head of everybody. Jalen Lindsay getting there ahead of Mayer. Now exchanging a 1-2. Lindsay can bomb forward from that right back position. Mayer getting back, able to slow things down a bit. Dia looking for a handball, nothing given. Busio tackles it back well. Possession back with the home side.
To your point there, that was excellent defending by Mayer because that was a breakaway. And some solid defending there, slowed down the play, and they got all 10 players behind the ball again. So excellent defending, and they've been good all day as Charlotte. Very well organized and very intense on defense, and it made it very hard for Sporting Kansas City too to break them down. And they'll be hopeful that that will continue for the rest of the game.
Busio sliding it left now. Mushagalusa, edge of the area, charging in towards Harris, trying to flick it back to Mushagalusa. Got stuck under his feet. Riley keeps things alive. It's a smart bit of play there from Busio to open up the game. Lindsay sizing up the defender. Premier onto the left boot. Oh, that one was close to the upper corner. One hand over the crossbar from Brandon Miller.
Yeah, not bad. He did very well to quickly get it onto his left foot. Again, it was kind of straight at Miller, and it was probably a easy save for him. He just had to, he knew he was in danger, so he just had to parry it over the top of the box. But good effort, good pace. If they could just get their shots either side of the goalkeeper, they may have a chance to score. And Miller's obviously position is very good, and it was an easy save for him there, but a good strike.
Charlotte native Brandon Miller adding to his save tally in this one. Now Busio on the far side. And towards the penalty spot. And Dia looking for a deflection, and he gets the call from the referee off Dane Kelly, and it'll be another corner kick, this one on the near side. So Gianluca Busio will make the long trot from corner flag to corner flag. Look at Dia trying to get this one on frame. Look at, just came off the shoulder there of Dane Kelly.
Beat him near post, Joel.
So Lucio to deliver towards the back post. Smith with the header. And clatters into the stands behind Brandon Miller's goal.
Yeah, it was a good corner, and that's what Smith would want. That ball deep in the box for him to go up, and he'll be disappointed with the final product there. If he could have just directed it back across the face of goal, it could have been dangerous.
The USL Championship makes its regular season debut on ESPN Deportes Friday, March 27th. Two of the top contenders in the East meet as the Tampa Bay Rowdies host Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. It's the championship on ESPN Deportes from Tampa Bay, Friday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. Johnson now making a long run forward, but just couldn't quite wrap his foot around the ball. That one drifts harmlessly into the hands of Richard Sanchez.
It's a really good, strong run. He runs 60 yards for that, and then that final ball just didn't go where he would want it to go. Disappointing for him.
He's done well to play the majority of this game with the yellow card, Joel Johnson. It's a good ball from Kuich. Inch perfect on the near touchline. Dia now trying to deliver across with the left foot, blocked away by Johnson.
Yeah, he's looking to deliver, but unfortunately nobody was in the box to deliver to, and that's why he had to delay it, and eventually it got blocked.
Beautiful ball there from Kuich, though. It was a tough window to squeeze it into on the near side. Now Lindsay looking for the run of Harris, headed away by Mayer. Sliding challenge from Riley. It'll slide out of play, and that will lead to the second substitution of the game for the home side, and it's a homegrown for homegrown substitution here as another SKC loanee will check into the game. Kuzain replacing Gianluca Busio.
Like you said, quality for quality.
Strong 70 minutes from Gianluca Busio after playing 15 last night for Sporting Kansas City in their 4-0 win over the Houston Dynamo. We'll have to see if the assist committee winds up giving Gianluca Busio credit for that Kyrie Shelton goal. Here, Kuzain straight into the action, straight onto the left foot. Oh, that was arrowing towards the bottom corner. This a really difficult save from Brandon Miller.
Not a bad first touch there by Kuzain, was it? But like you said, what a tremendous save, because if you notice, Miller took a couple extra steps to get over there. So his footwork was extremely quick to get over there, to get his hands on it and parry it wide again. He's been a star today for them. Absolutely brilliant, but what a strike from Kuzain.
That second look at it was wonderful to see. What a difficult save that was for Brandon Miller, scrambling to his left-hand post. Now the corner from Kuzain, past everyone. Mushagalusa has a chance here in the area. Chance now dissipating, and he will travel back. No, able to keep things alive through the feet of Dane Kelly. He has a go from distance, harmlessly bounces into Miller's arms.
Yeah, when Miller saves the one before, you know he's going to save that one. That's a gimme for him. I'd have liked to see, I'm going to try and say it, Mushagalusa's. I'd like to see him strike that first time. I think was the opportunity there to have a go immediately, but he decided to take a couple extra touches. Got the shot off in the end, but it just unfortunately didn't have any power on it.
This time, Amadou Dia charged for charging into the back of Ray Ortiz.
Yeah, Ortiz has been quite a bit of a handful since coming on. He's got some pace, he's got some good individual skills, and he's not afraid to run at defenders. And he's been a good sub for them so far.
Dio whistled for the foul. So it's another chance here from a set piece for Charlotte. Enzo Martinez has taken control of most of these set piece opportunities.
The older, experienced player. He knocks a lovely ball in here. It'll be the inside the foot, it'll be curving away from the goalkeeper and coming on to those attacking forwards. And Sporting Kansas City 2 better defend this real well.
Two-time All-League first team Enzo Martinez in his second stint here in Charlotte. Wearing the captain's armband, raises one hand in the air, delivers this towards the edge of the 6-yard box, still alive in the area. Charlotte now trying to find Dane Kelly was Hugh Roberts. Just couldn't quite come off for Charlotte after another wonderful delivery from Enzo Martinez. Hernandez has his pass blocked away by E2. But Harris, calm under pressure, trying to find Hernandez on the near side. Johnson will just come over, slide this one out of play.
He's got some pace. He got across there real quick. I would have thought Hernandez would have been on that ball first because he's not slow. But Joel Johnson got across there really, really quick.
Sure did. I was with you. It looked like that ball was Hernandez's to win.
There's something that Sporting Kansas City 2's got to watch. The set piece there. That was an unbelievable ball in. And they don't want to be given any set pieces around the final third, I think, with Martinez knocking passes in like that.
Here's numbers streaking forward for Charlotte now. On the edge of the area, well tackled away. Montpremier tackling back on Luke Hawkinson. Challenge from Johnson.
Yep, there's that pace again we just talked about. Galusa had the ball at his foot. He took a slight poor touch, and next minute Johnson's in his face with a sliding tackle.
Good pass from Galusa, gets praise from his coach right next to him on the touchline there, Paulo Nagamura. Relieves the pressure for SKC2. And now Riley.
Well, we're into the final 15 minutes or so, and I gotta be thinking Sporting has gotta be hungry for 3 points here. This is a game that's sitting there for them to take if they want it.
It's been mostly SKC2 in the second half especially. Here's a good ball towards Dia, who is in an offside position.
Fantastic ball in, unfortunately, and Dia's got to see it right across the line there. He should be in an onside position because that's a fantastic ball, and that's not the first one Kuich has played today. He's played some very good balls coming out of that back. I think he's had a pretty solid game today.
It's like it's got a good passing range there. The center back from Croatia, still just 20 years old. His first game in America. Here he is defending Dane Kelly. Does well to initially get it and sides it out of play. Speaking of Croatians in their first game here in the States, it's the third and final substitution of the game. Wilson Harris will check out for SKC2, and he's replaced by Dominic Reshetar, who is coming over alongside his Dinamo Zagreb 2 teammate, Peter Kuich. Dominic Reshetar, 19-year-old, scored as a 17-year-old in the Croatian top flight and has represented Croatia at the U19 international level, so he will join his countryman on the pitch here for the final 15 minutes. And Kelly striding forward and getting an ear lashing from several of his teammates there, as there were plenty of Charlotte players in the penalty area.
Yeah, Montpremier just dodged a little bullet there because he got caught dribbling a little bit too much out of the back there, and fortunately for him, the shot was that poor.
Jalen Lindsay now track back with Graham Smith. Well, for Charlotte, this will be an interesting season in 2020. It's their first season without Jorge Herrera in 13 years. Just a stalwart in the USL Championship. A Charlotte soccer icon. 72 goals, 35 assists, both second in USL Championship history. Second in appearances and minutes in USL Championship history, electing to retire after last season. It'll be interesting to see how they try and replace him with the likes of Dane Kelly.
That is a hard one to replace. It really is.
That is stellar numbers from the career of Jorge Herrera. And It's the last season before Charlotte will move into a downtown stadium under construction, scheduled to open next year. It's exciting times for the Charlotte Independents. So there is a hefty challenge from Kuich. And he will go into the referee's pocketbook for the challenge on Kevon George.
Yeah, the fans saying he's fine.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want a fan to take a whack on the calf like Kevon George just did and claim that he's fine.
Yeah, he was a little bit late, to say the least.
Those are sore ones there. Good whack on the calf. Here's Ortiz. A bit of dribbling play. Can he keep this in play? Martinez, he can. Just before it runs out of bounds, and there's a tasty looking cross, low cross in. Hackinson got a slight touch to it. Couldn't direct it goalwards, but it's still alive for Charlotte. Edge of the box blocked away, and then a foul on Kevon George.
Yeah, Ortiz has been good since he's been on, and he just created the chance there for Martinez to cross it, and you know he's going to have a good delivery, and that is a great delivery, because if that hits anything, chances are it's going to end up in the back of the net. So head down, driven into the box, and unfortunately for Charlotte, and unfortunately for Sporting Kansas City too, nobody got on the end of it.
Yeah, I thought Hackinson might have just clipped the bottom of his cleat there. If he would have got any of more purchase on that touch, you're right, just get that goalward, and it would have been really difficult for Sanchez. Such was the power on the delivery from Martinez. Into the final 10 minutes here. SKC 2 and Charlotte Independence. One of these teams find a winner and get 3 points in their opening game of 2020.
I think both teams want 3 points, but both teams definitely do not want to be walking away with a last-minute goal against them and coming away with 0 here. I'm sure Charlotte would be the happier of the two if they got a tie, but they definitely do not want to lose it, because they've done well. They've been organized and they've competed very well today. I think Sporting Kansas City 2 has been the better team, but you know, you're on the road, you come away for a point and you compete as well as they've done today. Maybe they deserve that 1 point. And
they've got 5 of their first 7 at home. So after this, 5 of 6 for Charlotte will be in their home confines. I think I'm with you. Point on the road to start the season wouldn't be the worst thing. Still plenty of time, though, to find a winner for them or for SKC2. Martinez seems to be growing into this one, and that's a commentator's curse as he slams his pass into the back of Felipe Hernandez. Reshatar just a little bit upset with the delivery there from Montpremier.
Yeah, Montpremier is, like I said, there's potential there, but last thing he's been doing in the second half has been not good enough. Poor, you could say. And that pass there was a poor pass into the forward line. Reshatar then.
Kuich intercepts well. Runs back into position now. We'll stay up to date with news and highlights from across the USL Championship and League One by downloading the official league app today. Search United Soccer League in the App Store or in Google Play and download today to enjoy news, giveaways, competitions, and more. I'm excited for the USL app this season. It's a new addition from the league, and excited to get that thing cranking. Continues to grow, and hopefully that app will be a wonderful resource for us USL fans. Kuzain under pressure, no foul given by the referee, and now Martinez streaking forward. He's got blue shirts to the left and to the right. Martinez clips it to the left-hand side. Kelly offside.
Oh dear, dear, dear. 5 on 3. He picked the right choice too with the pass, but I guess he took a long time to get it there. And the longer you take it, the more chance those forwards do end up going into an offside position, and they'll be disappointed with that. A good old 5 on 3 with 7 minutes left with a chance to go ahead. If you look here, 5 on 3 players, that's ridiculous right there. And there's no excuse for him who's looking across the line for being in an offside position. He'll be disappointed with himself there.
Got a problem here for Camden Riley, and it could be a problem for SKC too, as they've made all 3 substitutions so far in the second half. Looks like he's looking at that right ankle. Thumbs up from Isaac to say should be okay for Camden Riley to finish this thing out. Just over 6 minutes plus added time remaining.
Feel like in the last 5 to 8 minutes that Charlotte Independence has actually come alive here, and they're looking the more dangerous of the 2 teams right now. Of course, that can change quite quickly.
Yeah, for most of the second half, it's been all one way, but Charlotte Independence creating some chances here in the last 10 minutes. Reshitar can't quite hold that one up. That is a dangerous challenge from Roberts. Nothing given by the referee. E2 now, left-hand side with Hawkinson towards Kelly. On the turn, has a go. Still alive in the box. Kelly takes a deflection and beats the goalkeeper. 2-1, Charlotte Independence.
Well, you don't give Kelly 2 bites at the cherry, but this is all going to come back to a little controversy on the halfway line. Was Premier fouled? When I first saw it, I didn't think he was, but he went down in a big heap. Yeah, I'm not sure there. I'm not sure if that's a foul or not. But when you give someone like Dane Kelly 2 bites at the cherry, there's the first one, and here's his second one, then that's never a good thing. And he's on the scoreboard, and with him on the scoreboard, he's definitely earning a paycheck there, because that's what they brought him in for. And like I said, we're in the last few minutes here, and Sporting Kansas City 2 could be walking away with no points here and be very disappointed, because overall they have been the better team.
But it's the all-time leading goal scorer in the USL Championship, Dane Kelly, coming up with a goal. It's what he does best. His 6th club in 6 years, but scored goals for just about every one of them.
Now the question is, and I'd love to see it again, was that a foul on the halfway line or not? Because he went down in a big heap. But initially I thought, it's ball, and maybe he twisted his ankle, but I don't know. I'd love to see that again, because that's a crucial call.
Referee was right on the spot there. Tackle happened just in front of him, and he judged it to be a clean one from Hugh Roberts. So the tackle from Roberts leads to the chance and the goal for Dane Kelly. His 78th USL Championship. He's got 5 seasons in double digits. Looking for the 6th here. Charlotte will hope he can add on the rest of the season, and there's a poor pass from Lindsay out of play.
Yeah, right idea. Unfortunately, the weight of the pass was way too heavy.
Take a look now at that challenge on the halfway line. Point of contention for SKC2.
So he wins the ball there. You know what, I'm not sure if maybe when he landed on his left foot, he might have rolled his ankle, and that's why he grabbed it initially. So whether it was a foul or not, I'm not really sure.
It certainly isn't clear and obvious there in that replay, so you have to give credit to the referee.
Well, like you said, he's right on the spot, so you can't question the fact he's not there to make the call.
He's in position for sure.
Absolutely.
Now some scrambling at the back between Riley and Kuich. And Charlotte with a chance to kill off this game. 2.5 minutes plus added time. They've taken the late lead here in Kansas City. Ortiz will catch up to this one before it hits the byline. And the cutback from Martinez. Oh, that's a clever move to get around Riley. Martinez! Oh, takes a deflection. Sanchez was helpless, and as he looks behind himself, the ball drifts past his left-hand post.
What a smart play by Martinez. He knows they're going to run past him, drags it back, puts it on that left peg, and ooh, that could have ended up anywhere. Fortunately for Sporting Kansas City, it ends up in a corner.
Really fooled Camden Riley with that move. A wonderful move inside the penalty area. Center back Graham Smith coming over to cover. Gets an important block in. It'll go out for a corner. That will lead to the third and final substitution for the away side. Casey Penland checking into the game. And he replaces the goal scorer, Dane Kelly. Just trying to play for a throw-in, and they earn it here, Charlotte. It's a defensive replacement. Penland listed as a defender, checking in for Dane Kelly. From UNC Greensboro, Casey Penland, and impressed at an invitation-only combine in the offseason for Charlotte to earn a contract. This time, Charlotte able to win a foul here right along the near touchline. Hearing there will be 3 minutes added here at the end of regulation.
We might spend this 3 minutes down in this corner flag.
Ortiz tips this one out of play. SKC2, just 3.5 minutes now to try and claw back a second goal. Get a result from a game where they've been in the front foot most of this afternoon. Time running out. Smith. Heavy on the pass, looking for Amadou Dia here on the near sideline, and Charlotte in no rush to take the throw-in, as you'd expect. There's confirmation of the 3 minutes going up on the board here on the near side. And we're into that 3 minutes now. Charlotte just 3 minutes away from a wonderful result on the road to start their 2020 campaign.
Disappointing for Sporting Kansas City too, but you'd have to give a lot of credit to that man in goal, Brandon Miller. I think he's had an outstanding performance today in goal. A lot of the shots have gone straight at him, but he's made the saves he had to make, and he's made some extras too.
Well defended in the middle of the pitch. I think he's been a real standout as well. Junior E2.
Yeah.
Added some bite in the midfield for Charlotte in this game. Very organized in defense, the entire team. Riley looking for the run of Lindsay. Just over the outstretched leg of the right back, charging forward into the penalty area.
Yeah, not a bad ball at all. Great run there from outside to inside, and just a little too heavy, and he couldn't get his foot up there to bring it down, but that's the right idea for sure.
Cameron Riley made 21 starts last season for Sporting KC2, coming out of a stellar career at the University of the Pacific. Martinez just trying to get that one out of their own half. Tough battle for Penland up top, who has slotted into that forward position, although he's listed as a defender. Here, instructions to run to the corner for Ortiz. Instead, he'll draw another foul. It's been a lightning bug since coming onto the pitch for Charlotte.
Yeah, he's done very well, and that's going to run a good 35, 45 seconds off the clock. Martinez will walk over there nice and slowly.
Bit of a loose pass there from Johnson, and that might give one final chance to SKC2.
They're gonna have to move quickly.
Just seconds remaining of the 3 additional minutes here in stoppage time. Kuich urged forward. Drills a ball over to the right-hand side. Mushagalusa spinning on a dime. cutting inside and just a little too heavy with his touch. And that will do it. Charlotte come from behind to make up for the own goal by Jack Mayer. And a late winner by Dane Kelly give the Charlotte Independents all 3 points on the road here to open up their 2020 campaign. Doug McClagan, what do you make of the performance here today from the Charlotte Independents?
Oh, they'll be extremely happy. Let's say they did come here and they organized the defense very strong. Got a kind of a lucky first goal, but then, you know, when that ball drops to a player like Dane Kelly twice in the box, you know, I'm not going to say they deserve the win. Sporting Kansas City 2 was the better team, but they'll be extremely happy, as Sporting will be extremely disappointed.
This man between the sticks had a monster of a game. 10 saves for Brandon Miller. Helped earn his side a 2-1 victory. Dane Kelly with the late winner. 2-1 the final score here. Charlotte taking all 3 points over Sporting Kansas City 2. Stay with us. We'll be right back for full-time highlights and stats as the road team, Charlotte, kick off their 2020 campaign with a win. Full time here in Kansas City, Kansas. And Charlotte Independents coming away with a 2-1 victory over Sporting KC 2. Saw a couple of St. Louis Scott Gallagher boys there talking after the match. Jack Mayer making his professional debut for Charlotte Independents and Kuzane. Let's take a look at the highlights from an entertaining, we'll take a look first at the stats from an entertaining first match of 2020. And it's going to be one that I think SKC2 will rue not getting a result from here.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that bad. 20 shots to 9. They had their opportunities. I think the goalkeeper Miller was a big factor in this game. But, you know, when you have 20 shots and 10 of them on target, you got to put away more than one.
So it's all 3 points to Charlotte Independents here as we kick off the 10th season of USL Championship. An own goal from Jack Mayer was equalized by a goal from Derek Gebhard and a late winner from Dane Kelly, the all-time leading goal scorer in USL Championship history. Fun, thrilling, entertaining affair here in Kansas City. Thank you for watching. From our sensational crew, Jordan Burrell, Brad Zimmerman, Doug McClagan, Carter Augustine. Thanks for watching. Full time here. Charlotte Independents 2, SKC 2, 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.